So it's been about 3 months since I did my last pickups video, and I thought now would probably be a good time to do another one. And I won't show you everything that I picked up over the last 3 months, but I'll maybe just show you some of the more interesting and kind of better bargains I've picked up over the last few weeks, and just to keep it a bit more interesting and so that the video isn't like an hour long or something. So what I'll do is I'll get straight into showing you what I've got, and I'll start off with the new systems. So the first system I've got here is the Atari 2600, and you might have seen the video I did in this previously, but I bought this on eBay for £1 and then $7.50 postage on top of that, so $8.50 all in. And it turned up and it was all dusty and kind of grubby, so I stripped the whole thing apart, gave it a good clean with some soapy water, and then wiped it all down with a microfiber cloth with some WD-40 on it, and it turned out looking really nice. It basically looks like new now, so I was really happy to get that. It also came with this copy of Combat there, and I don't have a lot of nostalgia for the 2600. It was really before my time. I grew up more with the likes of the Mega Drive there, so I'm not going to collect games or anything for this, I don't think. But I just really like the look of the console. It looks really retro, and I really like the wood effect there and the Atari logo, and we've got all these switches up here. I just think it looks great. So what I might do in future is maybe do the composite mod for it there, just so I can plug it into the LCD TV and it won't look terrible. But I'll do that maybe, and yeah, I just really like to add it to the collection because it's a really nice example of the system, and it just looks really cool. So the next system I've got here is something I've been looking for a long time, and I'm really happy to finally pick one up. They're really hard to find here in Europe because I don't think they were ever officially released in this part of the world, definitely not in the UK anyway, so I had to get this sent over from the US, and it's the Game Boy Advance SP, but it's the much harder to find AGS 101 model of the console. And the huge difference with this is it's got a backlit screen as opposed to the regular version, which has a frontlit screen. And you can see that there, sorry about the glare. It's really bright, really vibrant screen on it. And I'll just quickly show you the difference between the regular SP. You can see that. So straight away you can see the big difference. That's actually got the front light switched on right now, but you wouldn't even be able to tell. It's so kind of dull in comparison. So yeah, really happy to finally pick one of these up. They're usually quite expensive because they're more desirable, and they've obviously got a nicer screen on it. But I got this on eBay off a seller in the US for £18, and then I think it was £7 delivery on top of that, and it turned up within 4 days, so I was really happy with that. Usually they go for around £50 here in the UK, so that was a nice deal. It's kind of scuffed up, and I knew all that before I bought it. It's kind of worn there, but I've got plans to fit a nice new replacement shell on that, so it'll look nice and brand new looking by the time I'm finished with it. So yeah, really happy to pick that up. So next I'll show you some of the Dreamcast games that I picked up, and the first one here is CMan. And if you don't know what CMan is, you should go watch the Classic Game Room review of it. It's a very strange game. I don't know if you can really call it a game, it's more of a simulator. And basically what you do is you have an aquarium and you grow your own CMan. I know that sounds really dodgy, but CMan is this guy here. He's basically a fish with a human head, and he talks to you and you talk to him via the Dreamcast microphone. And I know it sounds really weird, but it's kind of fun. And the voice acting in this is done by Leonard Nimoy, otherwise known as Spock, just to make it even that bit weirder. And yeah, kind of hard to find this in the UK because it was never released here. I think it was Japan and US only, but I managed to find this on eBay as usual. I think I paid about £18 for this. It's boxed to complete. I was kind of annoyed when it turned up because it was all squashed. The seller sent it in a jiffy bag and nothing else, so yeah, it was a bit damaged when I got here. But the game is fine. You've got the instructions and the disc and everything in there. Like I say, it came with the microphone. I've already got one of those, so I didn't really mind too much about that. So the next game I've got here is Mac and X, and again it's one of the stranger games for the Dreamcast. And again, go watch the Classic Game Room review of this if you don't know what it's about. It's kind of like a first-person shooter or first-person slasher, because you're actually using a sword as your weapon. But yeah, it's a very nice looking game, one of the nicest looking games I've played on the Dreamcast. I've played about an hour of this so far, and it's quite good fun. It's not the easiest game to control because you've obviously only got the one analog stick on the Dreamcast controller, so that kind of lets it down a wee bit. But I only paid £6 for this. It was on a buy it now on eBay, and I was just browsing eBay one day, and I saw it and I kind of recognised the name, and I kind of thought maybe it was worth a bit more than what the seller was asking. Sure enough, this usually goes for around £30 to £50 on eBay, because it's one of the, I don't know if it's that rare, but it's more of a kind of collector's game. It's one of the weirder games for the system. So yeah, I picked that up and it's quite good fun to play. So the next game I've got here is Gauntlet Legends for the Dreamcast, and this is a title I've been looking for quite a while. It's not hard to find, but it's kind of expensive for some reason. I'm not sure if it's maybe just because it's a desirable game. I don't think it's particularly rare or anything, but yeah, I managed to get this for, I think it was around £10 delivered, and I've been playing a lot of this recently. I used the arcade stick, the Dreamcast arcade stick, to play it, and you kind of get that arcade feel for it. But it's a great game. You never really get bored of playing Gauntlet Legends. So yeah, happy to pick that one up. So the next thing I've got here isn't really a game, but it's a promotional item that went along with the release of one of my favourite games on the Nintendo Wii, and that's the House of the Dead Overkill. And what this is like a VHS box with the House of the Dead Overkill artwork inside, and it's been made to look as if it's like an old rental VHS tape, which I think is really cool. So they've added little details to it like this here. This is actually a sticker, a distressed sticker that's stuck to the outside, which says Bayou State Rental. There's other little bits like that around the casing. You can see it's all distressed. There's actually another sticker there, and you can see the barcode's been made to look like it's all worn off. There's another sticker there, and there was actually a PAL sticker there, but I managed to damage that. It's inside. I'll need to fix that at some point. But if we open it up, you can see it's like a regular VHS box, and inside you've got this package, or this letter, and it's addressed to Isaac Washington, who's one of the characters in the game. You can see that there. Really nice detail on this. And what this is basically a t-shirt. It's one of those t-shirts you add water to, and then it kind of turns into a full-size t-shirt. So I thought that was really cool. That's the little PAL sticker there. Now you can see that. No, I'll need to fix that. But yeah, I thought that was really cool, just to go along on the shelf with the rest of my Wii games. But I paid, I think, about £5 for that delivered, again on eBay, where I get pretty much all my stuff. And yeah, I just thought it was a really nice collectible item, especially if you're a fan of the game like me. So moving on to some of the 360 games I got, and the first one here is Halo Reach, the Collector's Edition, and I got a really nice deal on this. This was £18 delivered, brand new, and I won't show you everything that's in this. I'm sure most people have seen tons of YouTube unboxings of this, but it's a really nice collector's edition. You pull the little tab at the top there, and it slides out like that, and inside you've got the copy of the game. You get DLC and stuff with that as well. Underneath that you've got a journal, and it's a really nice detailed kind of diary journal thing with loads of little cutouts and pictures and badges and all kinds of stuff in here. So I'm really happy to get hold of this. I'll quickly show you you can see it's been made to look as if it's like a real journal, someone's handwritten journal. I think there's even pages in the middle that have been ripped out to make it look authentic. So you've got sketches and stuff there, and photographs and all sorts of really cool things. In the back you've got like these badges and all kinds of really interesting stuff to go through. Let's see that, I don't even know what that is. But yeah, got that for £18 and I thought that was a really good deal. I've been after this for quite a while. I'm halfway through the game and really enjoying it, so that was my Halo Reach pickup. So next up, and for the 360 again, I got Monsters vs Aliens, and it's kind of based on the children's film. I don't know if it's really a children's film. I enjoyed it anyway, I thought it was really funny. But yeah, the game is basically the same. It's kind of like the film. It's got really great voice acting in it, same characters from the film, and a lot of fun to play. It's strangely harder to find this game, I'm not sure why. It's kind of uncommon, and when you do find it, it tends to be quite expensive, so I paid, I think it was £8 for this, but it's well worth it. It's a really well made game, a lot of fun, so yeah, I highly recommend picking this up if you can find a copy, and that's Monsters vs Aliens on the 360. So quickly moving on to some of the Game Boy Advance games that I've picked up here, and I've been buying quite a few titles from Amazon recently, and I've been really happy with the service I've got and the games I've received. All of them that I've received so far have been boxed and complete, which was a real surprise to me. I was expecting just to get the cartridge and nothing else, but they've mostly turned up boxed and complete with manuals and in really nice condition, so that was always nice. So I got Sonic Advance 2. I think I paid about £4.50 for that. And again, these usually end up being cheaper than what you'd find on eBay as well, and you're also guaranteed not to be getting a fake. So again, yeah, recommend Amazon for your Game Boy Advance games. Second one I got here is Jet Set Radio. A really great port of the Dreamcast game, or Xbox game. Next one I got is Astro Boy, and actually paid about, I think it was about £6 for this delivered, just in case you're wondering. That usually goes for around anywhere between £10 and £20 on eBay. Next one here was Astro Boy, and I think I actually got this one on eBay. This was £6.50, I believe, delivered, and again, really nice condition, boxed to complete. It's an excellent game for the Game Boy Advance, one of the best I think. It's kind of a mix up between platforming and side-scrolling shooting, really great. If you've got a Game Boy Advance, try and find this game. And finally here I've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is a game I just discovered recently, and it's a lot of fun. It's like a kind of side-scrolling old-style beat-em-up, kind of like Streets of Rage, but with the Turtles. A lot of fun. So yeah, these were all boxed to complete, and well worth checking out if you've got a Game Boy Advance. I'll try and mix in some gameplay footage just to show you what they're like. So I added a few more games to the Mega Drive collection, and I won't show you them all, I'll just show you some of the more kind of interesting titles here, but I added Rocket Knight Adventures, and this is a really great game. It's kind of again like the Astro Boy for the Game Boy Advance I showed you a minute ago, where it's got elements of platforming and side-scroll shooting as well. It's a really well made game. It's probably one of the best games on the Mega Drive, so definitely check this out if you're into that type of game. You can see the cartridge and the manual there, really nice condition. I think I paid about £6 for that. It was a great deal. Next up was Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and I've been after this game for ages, but it's only just started to come down in price. And I was actually watching a Luke Morse video the other day, and he was mentioning about how it's only just started to come back down in price, and how after he died the price of this game went absolutely crazy. People were paying ridiculous amounts of money for it and claiming that it was rare and all this kind of stuff, but it's really not a rare game. It's not even that great a game. It's a lot of fun to play, and yeah, it's just started to come down in price now, so it's a good time to pick it up if you can find it. So I think I paid about £10 for this, which is actually quite a good price for it, but I've just recently seen that some people are selling it for like £7 box to complete, so if I just waited a bit longer I could have probably got a better deal on it, but I'm happy enough with that. And it's box to complete again, so that's good. Another good game I got was Ghouls and Ghosts, and it's a bit of a classic arcade game here, so yeah, just a lot of fun to play on the Mega Drive. Again, box to complete. Again, about £5 I paid for that. And here is another game I picked up. This is the Japanese version of Street Fighter 2, the new challengers, and this is got the likes of Kami in it and a bunch of other characters that aren't in the other game, I think. So it's in kind of poor condition, and it's got a Genesis manual instead of the Japanese one, which is kind of strange, but I knew that when I bought it. And of course you've got the Japanese cartridge here. I was a bit annoyed when I got this because you can see if you can just make that out, the label's a bit ripped at the back there, and the box was kind of damaged at the top here as well, which the seller didn't mention when I bought it. And when I questioned him about it, he was like, oh well, it must have got damaged in the post, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, so how come when I got it the bag was sealed and there was no bits lying or floating around inside the bag? And he was like, didn't want to know about it. So yeah, a bit of an annoyance getting that in kind of poor condition, but that's just what you get when you're buying and selling on eBay, I suppose. So really great game. The only thing I don't like about this is the sound quality is kind of poor, so yeah, otherwise it's a lot of fun. So that's pretty much it for all the pickups I've got over the last couple of weeks, and there are one or two other things that I've not shown in the video, but to be honest they're not that interesting, so I think I'll just leave them out for now. The last couple of things I did get here are a couple of faulty Game Gears, and just the usual problems with these, with the faulty capacitors and whatnot, but I think I paid about £5 for one and then £10 for the other one, and I've actually got a bit of a project plan for these. I'm not going to be repairing them, I'm going to be doing something a bit different with them, so maybe that will appear in one of my future videos, I'll see. But yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.